Hey folks, I'm going to be doing a new series here where I call out these pretty blatant, obvious stream snipers and ghosters. There's a lot of them in solo queue, and you do encounter them every now and again. Riot's been doing a pretty good job at giving streamers some tools to fight back against this stuff with streamer mode, and stream delays also exist too, but some streamers don't like to hide their streams. So I have this streamer here who doesn't like to hide their stream or their map or anything like that. Um, I got into a game with this guy and went up against a jungler who seemed to have access to a lot of information. Yeah, I just wanted to show that you can see the guy here. Um, I have checked this stream while he was on my team, and he does not hide his stream or put any delay. Not to bash the streamer, but again, if you're streaming League, playing in solo queue, no streamer mode, you do have a little bit of a responsibility to your teammates to not convey this information to the enemy team, but whatever. Most of the fault goes to the people who abuse it. Yeah, so this isn't 100% definitive proof. Obviously, it's impossible to say, you were streaming, here's the proof, here's the network log or whatever. That's always impossible to get, but we can use our best judgment here to figure out what's going on. I think it's pretty obvious. So here we are in the game, and this Jarvan seems to always know where to go, where to be, where the wards are, and how to get there. So let's watch this gameplay. So the Jarvan
Welcome to Summoner's
starts pathing top. Right. No vision. Of course, game just started. Seems to know exactly where to go. And mind you, I've never played against this guy before, but knows to walk through here. It's fine. Maybe he's just poking around, seeing what he can do. Maybe he doesn't know Fiora is not guarding the spot, which, I mean, she should have been. But I mean, he easily could have come through here, but whatever. Okay, that's fine. So he walks through there. That's a decision he makes. Doesn't see anybody. Right. And then wards my blue. Now the ward it's not a bad ward, right? But most junglers would ward and then back off, right? Because, someone else could have warded this, someone else could be walking through, but no. So he commits to this, which again is all fine for now. But what's strange is he seems to almost know. Like, if you're a challenger jungler here and you're gambling that the enemy jungler is starting red, you would just stay on the blue to save time. You would just kill the blue and then leave. You wouldn't hide here. Him hiding here means he wants to steal my blue buff, right? Because he knows he has it worded, he knows I'm going to start it, despite having not seen me at all. So he knows I'm here. So he goes ahead and takes my blue. Hey. Okay, that's fine. So, again, not definitive proof that this is a ghosting enemy Jarvan yet, but that was slightly suspicious, right? He pathed exactly where there was no vision, because I was standing here at the time. So let me just show you that I was either pathing there or standing there. Yeah, so he goes exactly where we weren't, and then hides in the exact perfect spot where he would not have been caught. Because, I mean, if you're trying to steal blue, if you know the enemy jungler is coming here and you want to steal it, you probably hide here or here. But hiding here is, I mean, I think it's a little bit riskier, but so he chose there. And again, if he's gambling that I'm at my red buff, he wouldn't go here. He would just start my blue. So he knows I'm here. Takes my blue. And then let's move on to the next part. So he pings here. With basic pathing knowledge, it's pretty easy to conclude that I'm there, but if he does ping my location again, but again, basic tracking knowledge could cover that. Now, sides to gank here, not a terrible gank, but there does seem to be some foreknowledge here, possibly, that it's not warded. If any ward is available here, the gank fails and he wastes time. But he seems to change a mind. To me, this indicates starts recalling, looks at the stream, realizes there's no ward, initiates a gank. Again, it's possible that he's just getting lucky. Possible that like everything so far is like only mildly suspicious. So still worth noting, but as he progresses again. Okay, so now here we go. The Jarvan decides to path top to gank it. Most junglers here, I would say 99% of junglers in Challenger would simply go bottom and clear. You have this up, he has this up, he has Scuttle up, he has Dragon up, bot lane is slightly pushing in, so it would be he'd probably be able to get a gank off before the bot lane can reset, depending on the wave state. I would path bot here. Most junglers would path bot, but he decides to go top. Now let's see what he does top. Let's see what the state of top lane is. So Fiora has the lane not really frozen. I guess it's slightly pushing in, but she also has a ward here for the next 40 seconds. So let's see what Jarvan does. Let's see how he navigates this. Interestingly, paths perfectly around the ward, exactly where we don't have vision. Now, as a challenger jungler, you have absolutely no way of knowing whether this bush is warded or this bush is warded. There is simply no way to tell. It's impossible to tell. If when the Fiora goes here to ward, there's no and there's no ward status here. The Jarvan never saw nor pinged the ward. He might have seen, I don't think he did, but he might have seen Fiora path down. But again, there's no way to tell which bush is warded. So he goes exactly around, perfectly avoiding vision, and then successfully ganked with Diora. So to me, at this point, I would safely say 99% chance this person is probabilistic ghosting. I would say this person has access to information that they otherwise normally would not have had. The perfect path into the blue, the perfect wait, the perfect steal, the perfectly knowing where I was, the perfect gank mid after changing his mind when he, I think, got access to new information, and then the perfect path around the ward. It's pretty suspicious. So that, to me, at this point, you blatantly ghosted. So he starts pinging Dragon now, before the enemy team realized that we were doing it. So he ganks. You could possibly know that I'm on Dragon here with basic tracking knowledge, but the timing is a little suspicious. He kills, starts recalling, pings. I think he's looking at the map. And of course, yeah, we were. Ganks mid. Now, the same person who took absolute care to avoid a ward that he did not have knowledge of, the Tribush, perfectly, walks through one of the most commonly warded spots in the game, and does so with such confidence. Doesn't bother to check raptors or get any deep wards, just gets the perfect gank once again. Look at that. Phenomenal. You can see what he does next. Now, he goes to check my blue buff. Remind you, during all of this, he has no idea where it could possibly be. It's likely that I'm at my blue after killing Dragon, but he doesn't know which camp I'm on. I could be on Gromp, I could be on Wolves, I could be on the blue buff itself. I could even be invading Raptors. It's very possible. I could have made it to his Raptors in time. Doesn't bother to check Raptors. Doesn't bother to do the conventional normal pathing, which is to poke in through here, right? Possibly sweep on the way, which he doesn't have a sweeper because he doesn't need one. And see if I'm on Gromp or blue, get some wards, check the status of this. He doesn't bother with any of that. He goes straight to where my blue buff is and smites it, knowing exactly where it was with no vision. Wonderful. Takes the rest of my camps. Let's see what he does next. So he went exactly to my blue buff. Now, after the Jarvan stole my camps here, there's a lot of places I could have been, right? I could have gone to my Krugs, could have gone to Scuttle, could have even gone here, honestly. Could have pathed through mid. He does have 2 wards here, but there's a lot of places. But he goes exactly to the blue buff. Look, he's pinging it. He knows. He's aware, right? There's no guessing. He knows what state is. That, I mean, basic tracking knowledge, safe bet I'm on the blue. But again, this is just coincidence after coincidence where he knows exactly where I am. Um, okay, so let's see what happens here. He respawns. Now, again, why would you path top here? What's the purpose of it, right? All of your camps are down here, right? Bot lane is probably going to reset, go to a neutral state. Could be gankable. You're fed Jarvan. Your bot lane's fairly fed. You have zero reason to go top here, right? I mean, he could be trying to defend this tower, but I mean, there's not like Yone's already on the way. I don't see any reason ever to go top here. But okay, he goes top. But let's see what he does. Pings MIA here. Why? I have performed this gank, by the way, hundreds of times, and no one ever expects it. I mean, there are people who are like very map aware, like especially top laners. While pathing back will maybe ward just to poke in. But this Jarvan walks immediately with confidence and pings this bush. I have never seen this before in my life. I have never seen this. Anyway. Look at that. He absolutely knows I'm there. There's, like, after all of the coincidences that have happened in this game, wards, and then stays. And then stays. Okay. I mean, let's call it as it is. This is a counter gank with him knowing I was there. This is basically, like, this is the type of gameplay you'd see if I were standing on a ward, right? If I was standing on a ward here, like this, the Jarvan would path. But I wasn't on a ward, and he still did it. There's a few other examples in this game, but I think I'm going to wrap it up here. I just want to reiterate again, if you see this guy in solo queue, you're a streamer, hide your stream. That is all. Thank you.